it changed over the years? Because I've
Oh,
done
yeah,
this
it does.
a couple of times, and I was like, well, wait a minute, that's not what I had when I was younger, and that's not what I had when I applied for that last job. So I've noticed the change. So
Hopefully not too much though. I mean,
no, not too much,
okay.
but just the percentages were a little different. Like it was still the same letter, but the percentages were a little different.
yeah, and on the actual Myers-Briggs, like Ashley was saying, like you could be like almost nearly
Yeah.
not a thinker, and you really could
Yeah.
be or introvert, you know, really close to it. So
Yeah.
it's just the test that I sent was like modified,
Yeah.
so it's not exactly the
And
Myers-Briggs.
I got annoyed when they listed the job titles that went with.
Yes, I wrote a paper on that in my last
Oh, that
class.
annoyed me.
I'll send that to y'all. They were saying like certain personality types are prone to being presidents and prone to be this and that. So I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, but we all share some personality types, just not all of them, but that's what makes us unique. But you should be able to empathize with those who see things differently than you, and deal with problems differently. So it's really good to learn your personality, what your limits are, so that you can deal with other people better. So if you know that I'm very quick to judge, well, that's a judging part because I said it, don't see it that way, but I'm very quick to say, not gonna work. And I have to think like some people need time, some people need to think through it. Melissa, calm down. Don't get mad at that person so quickly. So it's really good to learn about your personality. And other personalities too. I don't know if you can go to your boss and say, what are you? But that would be good to learn. I did learn that my boss is exactly like me, and I don't know if that's good or bad because we have to take the personality test, and we are exactly, he's ENTJ too. So it was good to learn that though. And the rest of our group, because we're a specialist group, we have all these benefits people and payroll people. They're all introverts and they're all feelers, and they were all on the other side. But my particular team was exactly
They have
that.
emotions.
But no, they have emotions. They want you to get paid. They care about your compensation. But like our team, our systems team, all of us, there's 3 of us that are exactly alike, like to the letter. So it was good to learn that.
But it's data and logic. You have
Yeah.
to be a logical
Yeah,
thinker if you're.
I wasn't. I don't think I was always. Well, maybe I've always been that way, but yeah, we're all exactly the same way. Everybody but Maher. I think Maher is a little bit of a feeler.
He is a little bit.
He's a
Do you
little
think
bit
that, so some people, their results change with their job, do you think it's because they're answering questions not based on their personal life, but on their work life?
I'm not sure. I mean, it depends on the context. The way that most of the questions are addressed, it's not putting you in a situation of work, so you should answer to your natural feelings. But I do think that because of your experiences in the past or your current job experiences, that they do change over time. So like you mentioned, although you're not thinking about work when you're answering the questions, some of your work experiences make your personality change.
And that's where we spend most of our time, so.
That is true.
But you said all your whole team was the same. Have you ever looked at it from the perspective, okay, Tom is difficult. How would I like to be communicated to, and use that on him since you all are the same?
Yeah, I can think about that. I think that I have, but I think sometimes the issues with him is that
Not to make it all.
no. But I don't know. I think he's just an extreme ENTJ, and I think sometimes on the T I might be a little bit of the F, so my feelings get hurt a little bit. So maybe I do need to come at him the way that he is. So
What's a T? What's a T?
thinking versus feeling. So that was the personality discussion or jelly bean. It's a modified jelly bean presentation for that. So hopefully you got to learn more about your personality, and I will be emailing all of y'all the description of what these 4 characteristics are from the Myers-Briggs, so that y'all can kind of take it home. Our printer's low on ink, so I did not reach today. And that is the end of the presentation. Do we have any questions? Any comments? Hopefully you learned about personalities and dealing with them, and how to react or make eye contact with people. So hopefully that makes you better in your personal and your work lives. So in my personal life, hopefully that worked. Do you think that worked?
Mm-hmm.
Have you learned a little bit more about me?
Mm-hmm. I sure am.
Any questions? Are y'all good? Any questions?
What did you learn from this?
Me? Oh, the biggest part was just the dealing with difficult personalities. So the reason why I chose this particular, so we had a list of subjects that we could teach on. I didn't want to teach on anything like HR specific, so we could have did performance appraisals and all this other stuff, and I didn't want to do that because I was like, I have a problem with my boss. Like, we have a hard time talking to each other. So I wanted to learn more about dealing with his personality, or how could I alter my personality to deal with him. So with that, I learned, like, there's some things like putting the spotlight back on him. I need to be more reactive, because a lot of times when he says stuff, I go into a shell and my throat's getting ready to cry. And I don't do that normally, but I needed to learn more about that. And then I also, I think that's all I look like, or some things aren't worth dealing with, or some battles aren't worth taking up. And so that was important to me, because some things just sit with me for a very long time. It's like, it's not even worth it. Like, me getting mad about that stuff at work. So that's what I learned.
Did it give any guidelines on how to determine whether the battle is worth choosing or not?
It gave an example. So like it was like a website that I visited, and it was like, well, there's a girl with a difficult personality. She gets on your nerves, but she's really great at analytics. So you deal with her because she's an asset to your team. So you kind of have to think like that. Like,
Are you trying to get me a
it's not you. I actually thought about somebody else.
Tell me something.
No, so there's a girl named Sarah. She's socially awkward, but she's really good at her job. I think we need to go ahead and deal with her because she's an asset to the team. So like that's like an example of how to deal with it. You have to consider, what are they bringing to the team? Is it worth like incorporating them into your activities?
I think one of the things I've always experienced is that when you have a bad apple in the team, it just makes the rest of the team miserable. So at some point, considering, does that difficult personality need to step away from the team so that the rest of the team can function?
Yeah.
It's a hard thing.
Is it a bad apple, or is it just the other personalities are closer to each other and you can't relate? Because sometimes I feel like if everyone's the same,
Yeah.
and that person
like
is
the
the
Yeah.
introvert or isn't judging or is more feeling, they're going to be the
Shunned.
outcast
Yeah,
immediately
exactly.
because they don't think like the mass.
Yeah, I think how I looked at it in that team was, I felt that person was a bad apple because she was not letting the team grow. She was not letting the process evolve to move on to the next stage.
Was she the lead, or was she a
Yeah.
participant?
She was a participant.
She would have been ganged up on if she was in our group. We would have said, hey, it's not working.
So it's like a positive, negative, which is not in any of those personality types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if she's bringing something to the team, if she's an asset, she can do something that no one else can do. I really think you need to deal with that person. And if they're not, then that's something else to consider.
And completely, if they have a skill set that no one else has, then
Yeah.
yes, you need to figure out how to do that. But if this is someone who has the same skills, the same knowledge, same experience as everyone else on the team, but you're just being pissy for the sake of being pissy.
Yeah. I would definitely work on my patience and approach that person
Yeah.
and have a conversation.
I don't know. I didn't pick that battle. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's okay.
any guidance on empathy?
Mhm.
No, I'm not good at that.
Mhm.
But
Actually, this is your cue.
I did learn that, like, a lot of times when people come, I am sorry for how you feel. I'm never sorry for what I do, because I always stand behind my work. So I am sorry for how you feel about the situation. I'm sorry that you were upset, but it's not.
I said that's a fake apology.
It is.
I'm sorry for the
Well,
way you